As for Samaria, as for Shamrom, her king is cut off like a twig on the water. Also the high places of Aven, the sin of Israel, like Bet Aven, the house of Aven, the house of sorrow, idolatry, wickedness. Also the high places of wickedness, of idolatry, which are the sin of Israel, shall be destroyed. The thorn and thistle shall grow on their altars. Thorn and thistle represent sin and iniquity, or could be seen also as conscious sin and unconscious sin, intentional and unintentional, but both are sin, but both or each are connected to the first and the last. So thorn and thistle, that's why they put a crown of thorns on the head of Mashiach, who came to forgive us of our sins, pay for our sins. So they made a crown of sin represented by the thorns. The thorn and thistle shall grow on their altars. So because of their sins, their altars, which now are very beautiful and built all nice and everything, will eventually be desolate and filled with thorn and thistle. So then it says, the thorn and thistle shall grow on their altars. They shall say to the mountains, cover us, and to the hills, fall on us. This is key or interesting, because if we go to Revelation 6, when we see the sixth seal, verse 15, and the kings of the earth, the great men, the rich men, the commanders, the mighty men, every slave and every free man, hid themselves in the caves and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. That is the last, the wrath of the Lamb, the lion. For the great day of his wrath has come. The sixth seal is when the seventh millennium begins, when the 120th Jubilee starts. So that's why the sixth seal will be, for the world, catastrophic. And it will be pretty much the change between this reality and that of the perfect world that Yahweh will use us to build during that 1,000 years. So it said, fall on us and hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb, for the great day of his wrath has come, and who is able to stand, which is connected also to Malachi 3. Now, going back, it says, also the high places of Aven, the sin of Israel, shall be destroyed. The thorn and thistle shall grow on their altars. They shall say to the mountains, cover us, and to the hills, fall on us. What we just saw in the sixth seal. And also in the spiritual sense, it would be as asking the governments to save them, to cover their sins, something which no government can do. So they shall say to the mountains, cover us, and to the hills, fall on us.